In his spare time, my son Robert likes to go metal detecting. I still remember about 10 years ago, a local lake was drained, and I went with him as he searched for buried treasures in the recently exposed lake bed. I thought of that experience when I saw these recent images of the Mississippi River about 100 miles north of Memphis, Tennessee. Acres of exposed dry riverbed that under normal circumstances would be completely underwater. And indeed, parts of the Mississippi are not so mighty right now. This month, at least 5 places along a nearly 300-mile stretch have set all-time low water level records, including New Madrid, Missouri, where data goes back to 1879, Memphis, where the previous record occurred during the infamous summer drought of 1988, and Greenville, Mississippi, where the new record was more than a foot below the old mark. And these low water levels have greatly slowed or snarled the movement of goods along the river. During 1 week this month, more than 2,000 barges were grounded, halting river traffic in both directions for 4 days. Very poor timing because this is peak season for barge traffic that moves worldwide agricultural exports out of the U.S. heartland. For example, shipments of corn downriver during the first week of October were off 50% from this time last year. Right now, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has 7 dredging vessels working 24/7, removing riverbed where waters are too shallow. Those low water levels have allowed unusual access to landmarks such as Tower Rock near Cape Girardeau, Missouri, usually on an island but now reachable by foot, and also revealed the remains of long-lost ships, this one thought to have sunk in 1915 near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So how did we get here? Well, the most recent drought monitor shows 82% of the lower 48 is either abnormally dry, the yellow, or in drought, the other colors, the most in the 22-year history of this product. 100% of 8 states, including South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Arkansas, are painted in color here, as well as more than 98% of North Dakota and Kansas. Now let's overlay the Mississippi River watershed. It drains all or part of 32 states and 2 Canadian provinces, about 40% of the continental U.S., most of that west of the Mississippi, with the big muddy, the Missouri River, carrying much of that load. Clearly, the Mississippi's drainage basin contains areas with some of the worst drought. Here's where the 4-month period, June through September, ranked precipitation-wise in many of the states in that watershed. 1 would be the driest on record out of 128 years, so 64 or less is in the driest half. All but one of these numbers are in that category, with widespread driest 15 years, especially to the west of the Mississippi River. Closer to home in terms of percent of the state either abnormally dry or in drought, Pennsylvania stands at a measly 1.8% of the state. Only West Virginia and Delaware, both at 0, have less. Stay tuned. Our extended forecast is next.